Okay, Friday, 25th of April, 2025. So, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Future Friday, plan and strategize. Now, how algorithms, social media, are killing us. Now, back in, I guess it was November, December, I did a video, with a podcast video actually, with a guest that talked about how we're living in a sort of, I forgot the phrase, the word he used actually, um, dictatorship by algorithm in a way. Essentially, our worldview, our echo chamber, our reality, so to speak, is shaped by the algorithms. Now, an interesting thing, and I guess like most things in life, you need to hear it and then think about it and meditate on it for a good few months, 6 or so months in general. And that was an interesting premise, actually, because I understand as a first principle that we are living in a world, a society that is an evolutionary mismatch to what we are not used to, not what we are evolved to put up with. Cars, example, are a good example. The abundance of food is another great example. We're not used to handling things that can go 60, 70, 80, 100 or so miles per hour, 160 kilometers per hour, nor are we evolutionary evolved to have these things fly past us as we walk on the street, the pavement, and they're driving, 50, 60 odd, 40, 50 miles per hour, kilometers per hour. Nor are we evolved to have this such an abundance of food, sugars and carbohydrates, things like that. So there's an evolutionary mismatch. And then you can say, well, because we use the algorithms, are we subject to an evolutionary mismatch in a sense of what we hear, the information we consume, the relations we have with people via social media, i.e. the internet? Because we could say that certain situations in society are changed and warped, and there's a misconception going on that people don't understand reality or are too egotistical, perhaps, and that they behave in certain ways that would have been detrimental to them 100, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 years ago. Now, you could also say that's a sign of the times, the technology and the social standards, yes, but it doesn't take away from the fact, it doesn't make it any less true that the algorithms out there are shaping our reality. The things that we are fed and recommended in the next video or next whatever is fed to us. And these things, risks, you could argue, perpetuates certain conceptions, misconceptions, biases, you name it. Quite well founded, that is. But at the same time, it gives us a lot of entertainment, a lot of data, a lot of ideas. Occasionally there are interesting and insightful ideas I come across on Twitter that has changed a lot of strategies and things like that. And you could say, and then you could say that social media in general is affecting our worldview and our emotions. We hear about these stories and these case studies where the algorithm exists to make us feel in a certain way. Too much of this, too much of that, not enough of this, not enough of that, you name it. And then when you follow that influence, you can kind of get to the stage where you think, well, are the algorithms killing us? Morally, spiritually, philosophically, you name it. That's a whole other conversation to think. But the fact that we are spoon-fed certain information and other ideas, things that could change our worldview, that means that you could argue being held back. You could argue that. I did a video a year ago or something, talk about the cost of discovery. We are one tweet away, one little keyword, one little word, one little concept away from changing our entire strategy. I came across a very interesting tweet recently and I applied that, and now I'm a little more efficient over here. But the cost of discovering that thing would have been, dozens and dozens of swiping and hours of consuming over the course of months and months and months. And that's very interesting. So there's both sides to it. But then you could also go one step further and say maybe less internet and more real world is very important. very down to earth. And I did a video about this as well, talking about touch grass. Maybe that is a lot more profound than we realise. I also did a video, I'm pretty sure, about feel connected with people and places and events. Yes. And even our past. Yes. So that means that maybe you could argue less time online would be very, very powerful for us indeed. Indeed. And then you can go one step further and say digital detox. A digital detox is even more powerful. Having no exposure to social media, internet, you name it, for a set amount of time, a day, a week, and beyond, you name it. That could be very, very powerful. I can't help but think a lot of people would feel very liberated, and it'll be a very liberating feeling. But, I'm just guessing. But that's powerful. Are the algorithms, social media, killing us? Are the algorithms killing us? Interesting premise, interesting idea, interesting concept. Yeah. But otherwise, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.